Okay, this is YouTube version of trivia for this week. Let's get started. Rules are the same as always. Category 1. In the news. 5 things that have happened since last week. And we're going to get started right away with a 2-point question. What Pacific Island nation was under tsunami warning for much of the past week due to the eruption of an underwater volcano in the waters nearby? And, for your second point, in what South American country did this eruption cause a large oil spill when the resulting tsunami waves crashed into a ship heading into a refinery? Question 2. Keith Yandle of the Philadelphia Flyers this week tied and broke an NHL record previously held by Doug Jarvis set in 1987, with Phil Kessel of the Arizona Coyotes set to pass Jarvis soon as well. What record did he set? Question 3. It was announced this week that Harry Potter himself, Daniel Radcliffe, would be starring in an upcoming biopic about what popular musician, a role that will likely mean Radcliffe will have to don glasses yet again. Question 4. As much of the world adapts to the pandemic, one place where many changes are taking place is the office. One such change detailed in a recent article in the Globe and Mail is the practice of companies due to increased telecommuting, reducing floor space and requiring employees to pick a workstation every morning on a first come, first served basis. What is this practice called? Your last in the news question: enraging right-wingers and candy perverts alike, what color M&M last week ditched their stiletto heels for more sensible lower ones? Okay, next category is called movie villains. I'm going to give you a movie. You just have to tell me who portrayed the villain in that movie. Here's your first one. From 1988, Working Girl. Question 7, The Lion King in 1994. Avengers Infinity War from 2018. Question 9 from the year 2000, Unbreakable. And finally, The Breakfast Club in 1985. Okay, next category is called History's Forgotten Monster. This is a category all about King Leopold II, the King of Belgium, uh, at the end of the 19th century into the 20th. Here's your first question. First they came for the ivory, but then after enslaving the population of the Congo Basin, what valuable and difficult to harvest commodity did King Leopold's regime harvest after a boom in popularity in the early 20th century? Next question. Intent on creating a unified Congolese state under his rule, King Leopold hired what famed explorer of the late 19th century to build trading posts and chart a course for a rail to be laid along the Congo River? Next question. What classic novel, later adapted into a classic film, was a fictionalized version of the author's journey down the Congo River and the atrocities he witnessed? Question 14. While used as a brutal and evil punishing tactic by King Leopold's people against the native populations, the cutting off of a hand has roots in a Belgian folk tale where a hero removes the hand of a giant and throws it in the bay. What Belgian city, one of the largest in the country, gets its name from the Dutch for hand throwing? And your last question in this category. Belgium's conceded meddling continued well after the death of King Leopold. What freely elected prime minister, the first in the history of the newly created DRC, was assassinated by members of his own party, supported by Belgian and American forces because they thought he was a communist, which he wasn't. Okay, last category in round 1. Music videos. I'm going to show you a screenshot from a music video. You just have to tell me who the artist is. Not the song, the artist. Here's your first one from 1983. Next, from 1985. From 1990. From 1986. Finally, from 2003. Okay, that's the end of round one. Let's do some answers. So the Pacific island nation that a volcano erupted nearby is Tonga, and it caused an oil spill in Peru. Keith Yandel set the record for most consecutive games played. Daniel Radcliffe will be playing Weird Al. This practice is called hot desking. And the brown M&M ditched their heels for less or lower heels. Working Girl villain is Sigourney Weaver. Lion King Scar is voiced by Jeremy Irons. In Avengers Infinity War is Josh Brolin. Unbreakable is I just wrote the movie again. Sam Jackson. And the last one, Breakfast Club, the villain is Paul Gleason of Die Hard fame. King Leopold, so after they first pillaged the country for ivory, then they went after rubber. The explorer who charted a course along the Congo River is Henry Stanley. This novel is by Joseph Conrad, who actually traveled down the Congo. It's Heart of Darkness. Dutch for hand throwing, you get the city of Antwerp. And the leader who is assassinated is Patrice Lumumba. Music videos, this woman here, this is Pat Benatar. This is the Bangles. She's doing the Egyptian dance. This is Depeche Mode. These three men here are Run DMC, and this is Outkast. Outkast is the answer, not Andre Benjamin or Andre 3000. Okay, let's move on to round two. Your first category is called the Equalizer. So in this category, I'm going to give you a equation, and you have to equalize it. Here's your first one. This is a math question. So equalize this equation. You're looking to fill in the question marks here. Note that this number is to the power of 2. Here's your second equation. What equalizes this? Next, we have a word equation. So the number of kings of England named Henry plus the number of kings of England named Elizabeth equals the number of kings of England named George plus the number of kings of England named what? Next, we have Roman numerals. So I want your answer to be in Roman numerals. Okay, and continuing on the Equalizer. Now, this is just about the movie The Equalizer. One has spent much of their career playing Eurotrash villains in such movies as Triple X, Kingdom of Heaven, the Bourne trilogy, and of course The Equalizer. The other has an accomplished career, including an Oscar win for a 2010 film and a role as Robert McCall's only friend in The Equalizer. Who are these two veteran actors pictured below? 1 point for each. And there's a bonus Equalizer question. As the movie The Equalizer comes to a close, a cover of New Dawn Fades plays, which is a song originally by what English rock band formed in 1976 fronted by Ian Curtis? Okay, let's move on to the next category. It's called Spotlight Cuba. There's 5 questions about Cuba. Here's your first one. During the Spanish-American War, the result of which was Cuba ceded to the U.S., what future U.S. president fought as a member of the Rough Riders, a cavalry division in combat in Cuba? Question 27. What president of Cuba was deposed by Fidel Castro's forces in 1959? Question 28. With 569 home runs, what player has the most MLB dingers by someone born in Cuba? Question 29. True or false, a Cuban-born person has never won an Academy Award for acting? And finally, name for the date of commencement of their guerrilla campaign against the government of Cuba. What was the name of the revolutionary organization led by Fidel Castro that would one day become the ruling party of the country? Okay, next category is called Amazing Facts. This is all from the Twitter account I follow called Amazing Facts. In fact, I'm going to put an at there so it's clear. Here's your first question. Due to its strict rat control policy, which province of Canada is the largest inhabited area on the planet that is rat-free? Question 32. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, the movie, during the scene in which Indiana Jones finds the Ark, a carving of what sci-fi pair can be seen on the wall? Question 33. In 2014, a Russian man was attacked by a bear. Facing certain death, the man was only spared when his cell phone rang and the ringtone was the 2010 song Baby, which scared the bear away by what popular artist? Question 34. The oldest item in the British Crown Jewels is what type of common kitchen object? And question 35. In 1945, thousands and thousands of women across the U.S. rioted, storming clothing stores searching for one popular item, an item whose main material had been used for years for parachutes and other wartime needs, but was only now being used once again for civilian purposes. What was this clothing item? Okay, last category in round 2 is double letter. Every answer in this category will contain a double letter. Here's your first question. A shallow body of water separated from a larger body of water by a narrow landform such as a reef or barrier island or islands. Question 37. With origins in Old Norse, a word meaning a person in bondage or serfdom. In Viking times, these were usually enemy soldiers captured in battle. Question 38. A staple in Indian cooking can be used as a condiment or to grease a pan in preparation for frying. Question 39. A word in the second line of the Lord's Prayer. And your last question. A form of theatrical entertainment consisting of a number of individual performances, acts, or mixed numbers as by comedians, singers, dancers, acrobats, and magicians. Okay, let's end round 2. Let's do the answers. So this whole thing, this whole function or thing here is 121. So what we're looking for is 11. 11 squared equals 121. This thing here should be 1/8. The answer to this is the William. There's Henry is 8, Elizabeth 2, so 10, George 6, so 4 is William. This is 310, So 310 Romano CCCX. This actor, who's basically almost always a villain, his name is Martin Zoskus, and this woman, her name is Melissa Leo. And the band that plays that song, at least the original version, is Joy Division. Cuba. So the answer: Teddy Roosevelt was a soldier in the Spanish-American War, and then was like president like a year later. Fidel Castro and his forces deposed Fulgencio Batista. Blair with most home runs born in Cuba is Rafael Palmeiro. This is false. Oh, sorry, this is true. A Cuban-born person has never won an Academy Award for anything, which is kind of weird. And the guerrilla campaign against the government of Cuba was known as the 26th of July movement. Amazing facts: the largest inhabited area that is rat-free is Alberta. Raiders of the Lost Ark, you can see C-3PO and R2-D2 carved into the wall. Baby is by Justin Bieber. Most item in the British Crown Jewels is a spoon. And so the story with this one is that the fabric of nylon was entirely used for military purposes for a long time, which means that there were no stockings available to women, at least no nylon stockings. Double letters: shallow body of water is a lagoon. This Old Norse word meaning person in bondage, is thrall. Staple in Indian cooking is ghee. Second line of the Lord's Prayer is hallowed be thy name. So the the answer is hallowed, and this form of theatrical entertainment is called vaudeville. Okay, in round 3, we're going to do TV title characters again. I'm going to give you a TV show, and you just tell me who portrays the title character. Here we go. Here's your first one. The first episode is 2008, and the title character is portrayed by Simon Baker. Next, from 1995, Lucy Lawless. From 2013, Liev Schreiber. From 1986, the title character is portrayed by Paul Fusco. And finally, from 1976, Lindsay Wagner. Okay, next category is religion. Here's your first question. The strict followers of what religion adhere to such a thorough form of vegetarianism that they are not allowed to eat onion, garlic, or other root vegetables because the harvesting of these food items harm microscopic life? 47. In the Old Testament, who was the wife and half-sister of Abraham and the father of Isaac? Next question. Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of what? Question 49. What religion that I don't practice, originating in West Africa, combines Roman Catholicism with local beliefs and has a name stemming from the Spanish for worship of saints? And your last question. With approximately 1 million followers worldwide, most in the countries of Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, and Israel, and established in the early 11th century, what religion borrows aspects from all the major religions and believes in 7 prophets? And for a bonus point, deriving its name from the French for rising, what is the historical name for the Eastern Mediterranean countries? Okay, general knowledge questions. What does the word bagatelle mean? Is it a thing of little importance, an unexpected noise, or noise with an unknown cause, or a small baguette? Question 52. In what American city did the gunfight at the OK Corral occur? Question 53. Erected in 1877 in London, England, the monument pictured below is named for what ancient leader? Question 54. Named for an American policy analyst, what is the term given to the range of policies politically acceptable to the mainstream population at a given time? Question 55. Established in 1788 and named because the early buildings were made of sandstone, in what major city would you find the neighborhood called the Rocks? And a bonus general knowledge question. Mary Edwards Walker, born in Oswego, New York in 1832, is the only woman to receive what award? Let's do 3 pointers. Aside from cheese, name any 3 ingredients typically found on a Cuban sandwich. Question 57. Who are the 3 cartoon cats pictured below? Question 58. What are these 3 types of snakes pictured below? Question 59. In what 3 countries did the following pandemic viruses originate, or at least accepted by the scientific community? The Spanish flu of 1918, the SARS virus of 2003, and the H1N1 virus of 2009. Your last question. What are the tallest peaks on the following continents? Africa, North America, and South America. Okay, let's do answers for round 3. So this show, led by Simon Baker, is called The Mentalist. Lucy Lawless was Xena, Warrior Princess. Liev Schreiber is Ray Donovan. Paul Fusco did the voice of Alf. And Lindsay Wagner was the Bionic Woman. Religion. So the followers of Jainism can't eat onion or garlic, which kind of sucks. Old Testament, the wife of Abraham is Sarah. 48. Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of volcanoes, also except fire. 49. This religion from West Africa is it's called Santeria. Forgot to change the answer from last week. And this question, this religion is called Druze, and historical name for Eastern Mediterranean is the Levant. Bagatelle means a thing of literal importance. The gunfight at the OK Corral took place in Tombstone, Arizona. This monument is called Cleopatra's Needle. So your answer is Cleopatra. This term for the range of policies politically acceptable is the Overton window. The Rocks you'd find in Sydney, Australia, and Mary Edwards Walker is the only woman to receive the Medal of Honor. Cuban sandwich has cheese along with ham, pork, pickles, and mustard. So any 3 of those. These 3 cartoon cats. This first one is King Leonidas. Then we have Snagglepuss and Stimpy. Snakes, first is a cobra. You have a garter snake, and this last one is called a hognose snake. The Spanish flu originated in the USA. SARS is China, and H1N1 virus is from Mexico. Your last question, the tallest peak in Africa is Kilimanjaro. North America, it's Denali. In Alaska, and South America is Aconcagua. Whatever that is. Okay, that's trivia for this week. Hope you had fun.